Assalamu alaikum. My name is Nadeem Qureshi and I'm the chairman of Mustaqbal Pakistan. I'd like to talk to you today about a couple of subjects. The first of these has to do with the participation of competent, decent, educated people in Pakistan's politics. And the second has to do with political party financing in Pakistan. The two subjects are related, and I'll try and explain as we go along what the relationship is. Let's start first by talking about the participation of educated, competent, decent people in Pakistan. Now, by and large, such people, competent, educated, decent in our society, do not participate in politics. They believe that politics is dirty, it is dangerous, it's not for them, and so they should avoid it. This is true to some extent, but what it does is, their absence from participating in politics leaves a vacuum in one of the most important areas, the most vital areas of human activity, politics. It's an area which decides the future of countries, which decides whether they will succeed, whether they will falter, whether they will flourish. This area, this field of politics is vital to any country's future. Now, in Pakistan, because all of the people, or most, let's say, of the people who are competent, who are decent, who do have the sort of skills that are needed to run countries, avoid politics, the field is left open to those people who do not have these skills, and in fact, who tend to be, as our experience shows to date, tend to be corrupt, tend to be, in many cases, illiterate, tend to be prone to violence. It is not unknown that political parties resort to violence against their opponents, or resort sometimes to gratuitous violence for political purposes. So what has happened is, in Pakistan, that the good, educated, decent, competent people have avoided politics. And this has created a vacuum, and the vacuum has happily been filled by a group of people who are not competent, not decent, not sufficiently educated, do not have the necessary skills to run the country, to sit in parliament, to run the country, to be in the cabinet, to be our prime ministers, to be our presidents. And the results are obvious for all to see. So we, as people of competence, of decency, of education, of sincerity, owe an obligation to our country to step into the field of politics and to retake ground that has been ceded to a group of people from our society who are insincere, who are incompetent, who tend to be illiterate, who are violent, who lack the skills needed to run this country. This is what Mustaqbal Pakistan wants to do. We want to bring the best of Pakistan's people into politics and remove the worst, who are now, without dispute, I don't think you'll get a dispute about this from anyone, whether it's a road worker or a street cleaner or a banker or a government officer, no one will dispute that the people who are sitting now in our parliaments are the worst possible people to be there. Yet they are, and that is why we are in such deep trouble. So Mustaqbal Pakistan has a plan, has a strategy to remove these people through the political process and replace them with people of decency, competence, education, sincerity, people who will know when they get to the assemblies what they are there for, and people who will serve this country and its people and move it forward. Now, in this particular discussion, I don't have the time to get into the details of the strategy we have. But let me assure you that the strategy is workable. The strategy is based on a thorough, rigorous analysis of the political situation today, that's important, It's based on an analysis of the strengths and weaknesses of the existing political parties. It's based on our assessment of what people now think of the traditional parties and of what they expect and of what changes they are willing to accept. The details of this strategy I have made clear in many talks, in many speeches, and some of these you will find on various online media that are run by Mustaqbil Pakistan. That includes our website, it includes Facebook, YouTube. So you will find, if you're interested, the details of these policies. And you can judge for yourself. You can make a decision yourself whether what we are saying is logical and doable. We have done our homework. We know it can be done. The time is right, and inshallah we will succeed. There is, and then this brings us to the second issue, the issue of political party financing. Now here, let's understand first that no political party can survive without adequate financing, and that includes Mustaqbil Pakistan. But before I talk about us, let me talk about the traditional parties and how they get their financing. Now again, it's no secret to many that the traditional political parties get their money, which they need to run their campaigns and to continue to exist. They get their money from extortion, from corruption, from kickbacks on government contracts, and a variety of other illegal means. And they have to resort to this because for them there are no other doors open for funding. Now Mustaqbil Pakistan, obviously because we have to change things, we do not want to, we do not know how to resort to these traditional means of generating funds. So in our case, the funds must come from people who are interested in seeing change in Pakistan. And let me just tell you that unfortunately in Pakistan, there is not a culture of political party funding. None of us, including me, have ever contributed to a political party. We, and let's not get this wrong, we Pakistanis as a group are very generous people. Whenever there is calamity, whenever there are people in trouble, those of us who are well-to-do, and including those who are not so well-to-do, open their hearts and their pockets, and the money floods out to help people in need. And a wonderful example of this was last year's flood, when people not just donated not just money, but donated their time, which arguably is sometimes more precious, to helping poor people. So there is no lack of generosity in our hearts, in Pakistanis. We are not tight-fisted people when it comes to money. But none of us think of contributing to politics, because history tells us that it's a dirty place. It's the political parties involved are corrupt, and if we do contribute, the money will be misused. Now this is something that all of us educated people need to think about. And we need to change this attitude. You see, if you look at developed democratic societies, wherever they are, whether they're in the West or the East, Far East for instance, political party funding comes primarily from the public, as it does in the US for instance, or the UK. Individuals contribute, sometimes in small amounts, sometimes in large amounts, to the principal political parties, who in fact have entire organizations committed to fundraising. And this money then is used to propagate their ideas, used in financing elections and their programs and the likes. Now, unfortunately in Pakistan, this culture of political party contribution does not exist. And that's a big challenge for us. Mustaqbil Pakistan as a political party, it's a challenge for us. And beyond that, I think it's a challenge for all of us who mean well for Pakistan. You see, the problem is that if you want clean, decent, transparent politics, you have to pay for it. And if you are unwilling to pay for it, you won't get and the people who will continue to dominate politics will be these corrupt, ruthless, incompetent political parties who have dominated the field since Pakistan was formed. So, the choice is yours. We, Mustaqbal Pakistan, want to succeed. We know we can succeed. And I'd go further. I'd say that it's vital that we succeed. Because just this single change of bringing the most competent, decent, sincere, educated people of our land into our parliaments will mean a sea change in the way Pakistan is run, and ultimately in our future and the destiny of us and our children and grandchildren. So we are not talking about small change. We are talking about something that is vital to the future of our country. Now, you have it in your hands to change this. And that is why I am sitting here today in front of you, to explain to you that if you want to change things, you have to open your pockets and your heart to contribute to political parties who are decent, who you know, in your assessment, are decent, are competent, are sincere, and have the ability to bring about change that is so badly needed. I'm not saying that you necessarily contribute to Mustaqbal Pakistan. Contribute to any party that you feel is clean, but do contribute, because if you don't, there will be no change in Pakistan. Business will go on as usual. These usual parties will continue to extort and steal from us the citizens, to get into a position to rule us. If you are interested in contributing to Mustaqbal Pakistan, you will find our bank details on our website in the Contribute to Mustaqbal section. Let me tell you that we are committed to complete transparency in our funding, in the way those funds are used, in the way contributed funds are used. We will put up, starting this year, our fully audited statements on our website as soon as they are ready for submission to the Election Commissioner. And we will also put up a full list of donors, so that the full list of the donors and their contributions, except for those who request anonymity, so that it is clear to people where our funds are coming from. Because many people suspect sometimes that political parties receive funding from actors who have hidden agendas and are perhaps working for causes that are not made clear. Let me assure you that is not the case of Mustaqbal Pakistan. We are an indigenous party, we are sincere, we are honest, we are decent, our people are educated, we are committed to change, and we will not disappoint you. Thank you for your time. Assalamu alaikum.